Your business needs help. 56.1 million employees are employed by small businesses in the United States, and 99% of all U.S. establishments are small businesses under 250 employees. That means that your business should be listening to the only podcast dedicated to small business success. That's Growth Success Radio, growthsuccessradio.com. Welcome to this week's episode of Growth Success Radio.
Good morning and welcome to episode 43 of Growth Success Radio, a very special episode of Growth Success Radio because joining us today is Grant Cardone. He's in the room. We're just waiting for him to hop on the camera. This show is live every Friday morning at 11 a.m. To watch past episodes or listen to past episodes, you can just go to growthsuccessradio.com or you could go to iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, Stitcher, bunch of other places, and Eugene, you'll be happy to know I'm signing us up for more places in the very near future.
Yes.
The show is co-sponsored by my business, Gombar Digital Marketing Agency, and Eugene's business, Traeger Insurance. Eugene, tell us about Traeger Insurance.
Well, Traeger Insurance, we are a independent insurance agency based out of Meriden, Connecticut. And what we basically do for our clients and for anybody is we speak insurance. So people call us, we'll do all the work for them and get them the best possible price for the most optimal coverage.
Awesome. And he's done that for me, so I can speak as a client as well. It's true. And like I said, I'm the owner of a digital marketing agency, and what we do is we drive revenue to your pockets using all things internet, especially Google and social media and advertising. So if you want to grow revenue, grow your business, then you want me on your side helping you do that. So as I mentioned, this is episode 43. Grant, if you can hear us, all you need to do, if you see your video feed, hover over it and there'll be a button that says go on air. It's green. Just click on that and you'll be on. And we have a few visitors with us. There he goes. Grant.
Hey, Grant.
Come on, man. I've been watching you guys.
You've been watching us, spying on us?
I've been watching you, man. I've been watching. I need some insurance. Y'all been talking insurance. I want to give me some insurance.
Well, it's funny you say that because Eugene is ready to sell it to you.
Yes, I am.
But don't you need a digital marketer too? Grant, how's things in Miami after the hurricane?
Oh, everything's good, man. I got my kids. We stuck it out. We stayed down here. Everything was fine. And,
is this Scarlett?
I'm a meteorologist. I don't know if you know that, but I'm
no.
So everything's good.
Good. Are you really a meteorologist?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I predicted where this hurricane would be, and I told everybody it would be a Category 3.
Well, yeah, that's perfect because meteorologists are never wrong.
Is this Scarlett with you right there?
This is Scarlett. Yeah, this is Miss Scarlett. She's here to do some 10X kids. Take it with you, okay?
Nice.
She's got me, man. She's obsessed, dude.
Obsessed. That's what we're here to talk about. Be obsessed or be average. And I see the book there right in front of you. So awesome. Eugene and I both pre-ordered, and we'll get to that in a moment. And for anybody who does want to ask questions, if we have time and the question is relevant, we will get to that question. So please don't.
I love the questions that aren't relevant, though. I love those people.
Yeah.
I like to hold out their head and figure out what they're thinking and see if I can get.
All right. Well, then, if we have irrelevant questions, we might get to those too. It all depends on time.
Dude. I'm compelled to find freaks and crazies attractive.
That's perfect then, Grant. You can help me try to figure out what Scott talks about half the time. So
nobody knows what I talk about. That's why I could charge so much, because nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
All right. So Grant, believe it or not, I know your goal, one of your goals is to be known by all 7.3 billion people on the planet, but so far not all of them know you. So let's start with who is Grant and what do you do? Oh, that was Eugene's question. I apologize, Eugene. So you got all my questions now.
Yeah.
We'll
So look, I'm I grew up in Louisiana. I own 5 businesses today. I grew up in a middle class family, and my dad was an entrepreneur. He was a sales guy, an entrepreneur, and good father, good husband. Died when he was 52. I was 10 years old. Bought his dream house a couple years before he died, and I looked at that deal at 10 years old. You don't have to be 100 to like start observing what's happening, what's working, and what's not. I mean, kids. I got my 2 kids here right now. Dude, these kids, they're extremely, extremely bright. And I'm not talking about just my kids. It's all kids. I think people are just bright. I think there's intelligence. You don't need to go to school to be intelligent. I'm 10 years old. My dad dies. Literally within 30 days of we buried my dad, I'm watching my mom scared about money every second of every day. I didn't know that when my dad was alive. He was probably scared about it too. But for sure, I knew 10 days after my dad died, hey, this money thing's real. Because my mom was scared, dude. She's terrified. Now, I'm the last of 5 kids, and I can't help her. I'm mama's little boy, and I'm a mama's boy, okay? I'm mama's little boy, and I can't help mama. So I'm feeling powerless, out of control, and all I'm adding up right here, hey, this money thing's real, dude. This money thing is important. You need money not to be scared, okay? And my dad, what happened to my dad? I'm pissed off because I lost my dad, okay? He just bought his dream house. Now we can't afford it. We got to sell it. So I'm getting all this data. At the same time, I'm getting influenced by society. I went to my first James Bond movie. I'm like, dude, I want to be that dude. You know, I'm watching all the Humphrey Bogart, Jimmy Cagney movies on the weekends. You know, like I'm freaking binging on gangster movies. Damn, I want to be that guy. He's got the power and the chick. So I'm collecting all this data, right? I'm this young little dude, man, and I'm like, I'm starting to make decisions. And the interesting thing about being a kid is a kid basically, you know, if it's my daughters, they become obsessed with dolls and making things and putting things together. Little boys become obsessed with things, right? I was obsessed with the handful of things, whether it was fear or being a hero. And as you grow up, everybody starts telling you not to be obsessed with anything. And then the next thing you know, I got a drug problem because I'm trying to hold down all the things I wanted to do and end up doing a bunch of stuff nobody wanted me to do. So by the time I'm 25, dude, I'm using drugs every day, every single day. I'm talking 14, 15 times a day. I'm using some kind of drug, any drug. I had tried to quit from the age of 16 to 25. I'm broke. I'm 50 pounds less than I weigh right now. Just imagine that. Dude, I'm broke spiritually, physically, mentally. And one day I just finally said, okay, man, I gotta turn this thing around. And for the last 33 years, I've been turning my life around. Started with nothing, really below nothing. And I've been obsessed with proving that I could be the things that I thought I could be when I was 8.
Yeah, and you know you're not afraid to share that, and that's something that people should be aware of. That you share a lot of your own personal experiences with your books. So
you know, and let me just say that that's an interesting comment you just made. Okay, like it's all right that I tell people I was a drug addict.
Yeah.
But if I show somebody that I bought a plane, all of a sudden people be like, they're coming out. The freaks come out now. They're like, whoa, wait a minute, dog. Some people like it. That's cool. And some people are like, now why you got to show us that, man?
Yeah.
You know, if I tell somebody last month I sold a deal. Now, remember, I grew up in a 1,400 square foot house with 7 people that lived in that one house. And my dad was trying to keep that house every day. Last month, I sold a piece of property that I bought 3 years ago. What did I make on that deal? I made $13 million in that deal. I made $9 million. A $9 million check was sent to me a week ago. So if I come on there and say, yeah, I made $9 million today, right? The whole world's like, why you got to tell people that, man? But it's all right if I tell you I was weak and beat up. See, and that's the culture we live in today. This is a really important message, right? Like, you can't tell anybody that you're winning, man. It's like that. It's not okay. But why win if you can't tell anybody, man? My goal is to tell other people it's possible. And the way you can't just walk on fire and say, change your state, man. People need good examples. They need examples of people that are winning at big levels, okay? And that aren't going crazy because they are winning. So anyway, that's my new obsession, dude. My obsession is to let people know it's okay to be successful. In fact, it's your responsibility. And then please, once you get successful, don't pull the curtains in front of you and hide. You know, like let people see who you are. So because kids like me, when I was 8, I needed an example. I needed a mentor, man. I needed somebody to see. And today you can do that with all the technology we have today. You can actually see how somebody's doing life. So I'm sorry. I'll quit talking, man.
That's okay. That's what we're here for.
That's okay. All right. So as Grant, as Scott and I mentioned, we both pre-ordered the book. What can we expect by reading it?
You don't even have to read the book, dude. I'm gonna read it to you because I'm gonna make you part of my 13-week mastermind. It's a coaching, 13 weeks of coaching, because I'm sick of people buying books and they don't read them. My book's not going to be one that people don't read. I want you to buy it. I'll read the damn thing to you. So what you're going to tap into is if you read the 10X rule. This is my 7th book, by the way. It's my 7th book. I took 19 months to write this book and bring it to market. This is a book that if I knew what I knew today, if I went back and did it all over again, this would have been the first book I would have written. Because if you don't tap into this into the crazy in you, into the drug addict, to the overeater, to the addictive, compulsive control freak, okay, to the person that wants everywhere you go, you want control, right? If you don't tap into that neurotic part of you, man, you're probably not going to make it. Because one of the chapters, I actually opened the book with all the people that have ever lived on this planet that you and I both know. We both know them, and we know their name. We know their history. We know part of their story. All these people were obsessed. Obsessed is that genius quality. Okay? It wasn't that they did something that was impossible, dude. They did something. They couldn't let go of the idea. Howard Schultz at Starbucks, his stepfather tried to talk him out of the deal. Howard Schultz, his wife got pregnant. The dad of his wife went to Howard and said, Howard, okay, it's time to give up this little coffee idea. You know, it's time to give it up, Howard. Now it's different now. It's a different game now. You got a kid coming. I'm going to be a grandfather. You're going to be a father. You got to take care. He's like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. He was more obsessed with the idea that he could not trade in that idea just for family. Howard Schultz made a decision. I don't need to give up this first idea to be a husband and be a father. And that story, that example really, really inspired me, right? Because I've been told by a lot of people that I can't do it all. You can't be a father, a husband, and a business owner. Okay, you got to give something up. The story of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, his legacy basically is he was this guy that made this, he's a genius, right? The guy's a genius. But the other part of the story is this dark part of the story where he was a bad father and a bad husband. I don't want that either, man. I want to be obsessed with all of it, right? And maybe that's because because Steve did all that LSD back in the 70s, because drugs will screw you up, man. It limits your ability. It limits your ability to be great at a bunch of things. And there is damage left by drugs. So what you're going to get out of this book, man, is look, you don't have one purpose. You got a bunch of purposes, and you need to feed them all, okay? You don't need to have one car. You could have 13 of them, but you need to feed them. Just having a car sitting there is no good, okay? You can have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 businesses. You don't need one. You can be in 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 places in the world. You know, you don't have one purpose. People have more than one purpose. And if you don't fulfill the other purposes, feed them, you're not going to be happy with yourself.
Awesome. And you mentioned it a few times now. So you, with the pre-order of the book, which comes out on Tuesday, by the way, right? Pre-ordering the book right now gets you a 13-week mentoring program, 13-week
coaching
mastermind program with Grant. And you also get the video version, because I've already started watching the videos. I'm on chapter 4. So you get that. So you basically get the book before.
The video's gone. The video offer's no longer out there. Okay.
Okay. The video offer's not there anymore.
Okay.
But why are you giving away? So I mean, a 13-week mastermind program, that's a big ticket item. So for $30, I'm getting 13 weeks with you. Yeah. Why are you giving away so much with this book?
You can actually buy this book if you go to what's the website? GrantCardone.com/obsessed. You guys bought it when you were purchasing from me. You're going to see Amazon, Target, Books A Million. I don't have access to the book. I have a couple of books here to show, right? And then, so you're going to go to, let's say you go to Amazon and buy the book. I think it's $17 or $18 at Amazon right now. It's number 2, number 4, and number 6. I don't care whether you buy Audible, dude, the book. You buy whatever you want, okay? I'm top 3 out of 10. And the book's not even out. Every other book in the top 10 on Amazon under entrepreneurship, there are already books that are released. So people want this book. They like, there's something about this message, or it's because of how I've been promoting it. So, and this is all tied into obsession. I'm not obsessed at selling books, man. Okay, so what? I sell a book. One of the Amy Schuler's book right now. It's in the one of the New York Times Best Sellers. But what people don't know is people are sending it back. The returns are in the tens of thousands. I don't want people to return a book, okay? Most people don't even read books, man. 84% of all books go unread. When I saw that statistic, I was like devastated. I'm like, you mean people are giving me money? They give Amazon $17. And then Amazon sends me like $1.30.
Wow.
Okay, and then the guy takes the book and he puts it on his bedside and it sits there. He puts it next to his toilet and never reads it. I lose, man. How do I lose? Because if the content of this book is actually good, this would improve this person's life. People don't refer my products because they like me. People refer my products because they win in life and they make more money, okay? And they make their projects successful. So when I found out about the 84% death rate in books, I'm like, oh, what I'll do is you buy the book, dude, I'll read it to you. We'll literally take the week of the 13th, the week of the 20th, the week of the 27th, the week of of next month in November, okay? It's not like I don't have a full schedule. I'm going to take 30 minutes out and I'm going to talk about what was in every chapter of that book. Now, you got to join me for it. But I want to do my part to make sure my kids can read. I got 2 little kids. They're in the office today. They're playing with me today in the office. Dude, I read to them. They love me reading to them. Me and my wife sit and read to them, okay? I have more than 2 children, though. If I want 7 billion people to know my name, then those are my children, man. Those are my brothers and my sisters, my uncles and my aunts. So I don't care about the color of your skin or your literacy or whether you like to read, don't like to read, hate to read, don't have time to read. How about I read it to you, man? Okay? By the way, I'm giving all the money that I get from the sale of the book, I'm giving it to Drug-Free America and Drug-Free World to make kids aware about drugs and the damage of drugs. We've already given 30,000 books to schools. So awesome. 10th grader, particularly the middle school, like 10th, 11th, 12th, I want this book to be on wherever you went to school, dude. I want that cover to be in your kid's school. Because if a kid's in trouble, man, he's about to get in trouble, he's starting to pull away from all the books.
This is true. This is true.
Okay. And if that one book's sitting there with some cat sitting on the engine of his plane, I got a chance to grab that kid's attention.
And I personally, I believe books are cheap education for somebody. You're just feeding your brain quality information, especially if you get a quality book.
Hey, books have changed my life, okay? I've had books that I didn't read. The cover changed my life.
That is an interesting cover you have there, by the way.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, let's go. In the book, Grant, you talk about your personal experience with people, labeling you as obsessed.
Yeah.
Why do you think being obsessed is actually a good thing?
Dude, if people aren't labeling you obsessed, then they don't know you're in the game. What are they labeling you? Average? Vanilla? Okay, balance? The question I've been asked, and it got asked a lot out of the 10X rule, which was part of the origination for this book, is, hey, man, how do you do the balance thing? I don't do the balance thing. I'm not interested in people calling me balanced. I don't think that's a oh, you're so well balanced, Mr. Cardone. What is that, dude? What are you in a yoga posture all day long? Okay, you meditate constantly. Okay, are you Buddha or something? Like I need people that do things, man. My kids at 5 years old know the way to get better at something is to do it. Okay, the way to get better at anything is to do life. The way to get better at life is to do it. You got to be obsessed. If you want to get good at something, you got to be obsessed. You can't name one person on this planet that is great, excellent, super, that you and I both know that wasn't obsessed. So I'm telling people, look, obsession is not bad. If you look it up in the dictionary, every definition of the word obsessed has a negative connotation. Yet all the great ones, from Jesus to Mother Teresa, these people were obsessed, man. You think Jesus wasn't obsessed? Dude, he was obsessed when they were finishing him. He was obsessed.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He's sitting there saying, and you can do more than I. So you better be obsessed. Help me get out of here. Get my freak out of here, okay? You're obsessed, dude.
We'll interview her next week.
Yeah, they want to interview you next week.
That's awesome. Yes, and you're right. And throughout history, there have been words that have had a negative connotation tied to them.
Yeah.
And then the next generation, that we change the definition. So you're right. You mentioned it, the 10X rule, and I think this might be your most well-known book before this one comes out. In the book, you pretty much talk about how if you want to be successful, you need to go harder than everybody else. You need to do 10 times what everybody else does. Yeah. And have you found that works for your clients? I know you have I know you have small business clients, and then you also have Fortune 500 clients. Do you find that it's always worked across the board if they apply it?
Look, if you search Google on the internet, do a search. You're a big Google dude, okay? Google search the word Google, the company, and the 10X rule. Dude, they use the 10X rule. They use the 10X rule in making decisions to buy new businesses. Okay? Like literally, you'll see it all over the internet, man. They're like, hey, we're looking for 10X. We're looking for 10X growth. We're looking for 10X companies. We're looking for multipliers. We're looking for leverage. But you and I weren't taught that, man. Notice when you go to school, man, you're taught adding and subtracting. Let's add. 1 + 1 is 2. How freaking stupid is that? Okay? It took me 12 years, man. Why would school take 12 years? It doesn't need to take 12 years, okay? We know there's people that can finish that in 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason the school system, it's just one indicator. The reason it takes so many years to get through school is because there's so much money in it. Public funding at $180 billion, okay, that they want to double. They want to take that to double that. Now, what does that have to do with this multiplier? Okay, because you need to do things faster, man. You need to compress things. We need to teach our society to compress things and get them done now. We're not growing in this country.
And get rid of the unnecessary stuff.
Yeah, dude, everything's slow. Everything's methodical. Let's plan it out. Let's have a chairman of the board, and let's make sure we don't make any. No, man. You go in. If you're going to make a mistake, make it as fast as you freaking can. Okay. Now, I know some people won't like this statement, but when we went to Iraq the first time, the old man Bush went into Iraq. We were in and out, man. Boom, 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 boom. We unloaded. They're like, okay, I'm out. I'm done. See, if you're going to go at something, even if it's wrong, I'm not saying that was right or wrong. It doesn't matter to me at this point because it's history. But the point is, get in and get out, right? Okay? And be obsessed about a number of things so that you actually have a chance to grow. 76% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
It isn't working, okay?
No.
Everybody's so worried about being labeled something. ADD, ADHD. Look, if anybody's got any energy at all, I guarantee you there's people are going to watch this and say, oh, that guy's bipolar, man. I've been called bipolar, ADD, ADHD, compulsive, obsessive, control freak, micromanager, greedy, selfish, arrogant. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, what else? What else you got, bitch? Okay? Okay? What else you got? How else can you make sense of your life talking about mine? Because I don't even know who you are. I don't even know who these people are that are labeling me, right?
That's true. You're not going to pay your bills.
That's true.
You know, and even my wife is like, hey, man, bring it down a little bit. Baby, we're not going to get where we want to go. Me bringing it down. So you got to be willing, and I talk about it and actually I started talking about it in the 10X rule, but so many people, it created problems for a lot of people. Because you want to go 10X and the wife is like, what are we doing here? And this is crazy, right? So really be obsessed or be average picks up where the 10X rule took off and shows you how to get the wife and your team all doing this thing called be obsessed.
Awesome.
Some good points you're making here. You also big on setting goals that are unreachable or some would call unattainable. Why is that? Is that part of your 10X philosophy, or go 10 times harder or 10 times more?
Well, no, really what it is it's the only way I can be happy, man. If I'm not every time in my life I've become satisfied with what I've done. When I quit being obsessed with the next thing, I became unsatisfied with who I am. Okay? The moment Grant is not obsessed with a project. Now, if you tell a therapist this, they're going to be like, well, dude, there's something wrong with you, okay? I've never met a therapist that has the life I have. So if I tell a billionaire, dude, if I tell a buddy of mine just sold a company for $21 billion, hey, dude, I want to go achieve this other thing. He doesn't say, hey, you've done enough. Okay? If I tell a middle-class person, could be my family, could be a family member. If I tell a teacher, a policeman, a nurse, hey, look, I need to achieve something else or I'm not happy, they're going to be like, something's wrong with you. But if I tell a guy that's out there playing the game that, he's like, no, dude, I totally understand. Yeah. See, I think we're lied to. I think we're made to believe that a wife and a couple of kids are going to make us happy, when the truth is, it's not going to make you happy. You need to keep achieving things.
Right.
And I know, it's not like I know 100 people. I know millions of people. I know millions of people telling me this is the truth. Millions of mothers and fathers, okay, and uncles and grandparents, okay, that have done the whole family thing. They've done the house thing. They've done the church thing. And they're like, look, man, I'm 60 years old and I need to achieve something. I'm 70 years old. I want to achieve something. You know, I'm 25 years old and I got $1 million already and I'm not happy. I want to figure out how to do more. This is consistent with people on this planet. Okay? You want to achieve more. You're a spiritual being capable of doing more. You know you can do more. And all the little pats on the backs, the little trophies, the Chamber of Commerce, the awards you get from a congressman, you know the truth. Look at the Rolling Stones. They're coming out with another CD, man. These guys are 80, dude. Right? So why? Because they want to achieve more. Maybe because you can. And that's what I'm obsessed with. I'm obsessed with what I can do, not what I have done.
So you also read your own books for Audible. So, and I only know of one other author that does that, and he's got kind of the same personality as you. He's very very animated, very energetic. But why do you choose to read your own book rather than have I guess a professional read them?
Yeah. Because I had a professional read one of my books. Okay, I had a professional read one of my books. He's an award-winning. What do they call those? Narrator. And when one of my staff came in one day and said, "Hey, man, I was listening to your book today." Yeah, how is it? It's awful. I said, "Really?" I didn't listen to it, dude. It's a mistake that I made, okay? So I basically grabbed the book, I listened to it, I started playing it, and literally in 2 minutes, I was like, I was going to puke. It was so bad because it's my message, man. These aren't just words to me. This is something molecularly like ingrained in me that cellularly, like it's an expression of me, right? And he's just sitting there reading like in some English accent, which is no problem. My entire life, people have been telling me that my obsession with success is a bad thing.
Snooze fest.
Yep.
That's not the way. First of all, I wouldn't even. I don't even read all the words, dude. I write the book, and then 3 to 4 months after I write a book, after I do a bunch of interviews like this, I go record the audio. See, notice the audio is not available for this program until like November or December. The book's out next week. The audio won't be out for a while, okay? Now, we've already taped the audio, but I tape it after I complete the book and after I do a number of interviews and because the book's still cooking to me. So I'm sitting here reading the book. The audio, by the way, is, how many hours did it end up being? 13? 10 and a half. 10 and a half hours. Okay, Audible says it's 13 hours.
It does.
So, because I start ripping off, dude, because look, no book is ever finished. Everybody needs to understand this, okay? People don't finish books. The book cooks in you like a meal, okay? If you cook a steak and you cook it and you cook it for 20 minutes and you take it off, it's still cooking while it's on the plate. And that happens with work, right? Some work that a person does. A sales presentation. You go in and do a presentation to a group and you walk out and you're like, damn, I should have said this and I should have said this and I should have said that. A debate. You do a debate and the debate keeps cooking in you after the debate's over, right? An argument with your wife, okay? You have an argument with your wife and the next morning you're like, and wait a minute, you're still freaking trying to do the argument. So I read it because I want to be the person explaining what I'm writing, not somebody else.
Yeah, just to remind everybody, we're on with Grant Cardone for a few more minutes here. He's got his show at noon, so we're going to be disconnecting with him in a few minutes. I'm not sure why I'm echoing now.
Yeah.
It's usually Eugene that screws up. Eugene, you're up.
How much more time do we have? Do we want to get into?
We have 8 minutes.
Is that 8 minutes?
Yeah.
So we have time for a question. So I'm just going to skip the next question and go to my original question.
Okay.
Grant, do you believe people are a victim of their environment or circumstances?
Well, I don't think people are victims. I think people are victims of their own. I think people are victimizing themselves. I mean, I've never met a victim that didn't have a number of things in common with they're always to blame. Hey, bad stuff always happens to me. Yeah, dude, but it's always happening to you, man. Yeah. I noticed that about you. Like you're involved. You ever get it? The victim's involved. So why? Okay. Now look, here's a guy that's talking, dude, I've been, however bad you can imagine life, there's a good chance I experienced it already. And people would have thought that I was a victim. Okay. My dad died. My older brother died. My older brother was killed. I talked to him one night. He was killed. Okay. I've had a lot of bad stuff happen to me. 9 years of a drug addiction where I was doing stuff that no human being should ever do to themselves. I was beat up, had 70 stitches put in my head and face. I've been through two head-on car crashes where I went through the windshield. I mean, I can tell you all this victim stuff. I'm not a victim, dude. I created all that stuff. Every damn bad thing that happened to me on this planet, I created. I had something to do with it. And that goes for everybody in every part of the world, okay? That's ever, you got something bad happening to you, man. You got something to do with it. Now, I know people are like, yeah, but what about the people, you know, that are having their heads cut off by ISIS? What do they have to do with it? Okay, well, whatever. Take it to extremes if you want to. The point is, you got something to do with it. Okay? The housing crisis in 2009, I didn't do any of that stuff that the other builders were doing and the other investors. The fact that I didn't have anything to do with it and I didn't do anything to stop it means I had something to do with it. Okay? When you guys all saw the pizza guy making $200,000-300 grand selling mortgages and you didn't say, hey, there's something wrong here. You had something to do with the mortgage crisis, okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, the fact that we elect politicians that won't stop all the dumb stuff that we do, they do have something to do with that. So if you're a victim, man, you need to figure out how to turn that freaking juice you got for being a victim. You're digging the victim, man. You're digging it. You're digging it so much. It gives you so much juice, excuses, energy. Look, tap into the dark side, man. You guys need to tap into your freaking dark side. Whatever it is, your darkness you're doing, overeating, pornography, drugs, excuse making, lazy, that's energy, man. It takes energy to be lazy. It takes energy to make excuses. Yes. It takes energy to be victimized. All of that has juice in it. So rather than denying it, freaking tap into it. Drop into the energy. And that's what I did with my life, man. Rather than me, I've always wanted to be rich. I've always wanted to be rich. I've always wanted to be famous. I've always wanted to write books, okay? I always wanted to have a hot chick, hot wife. I've always wanted to have kids and be a great father. So what I did was I tell people, dude, I want to be rich. And when I get rich, I want to be richer. And when I get richer, I want to be richer than that. You understand? I want to be a billionaire, dude. I want so much freaking money I can freaking waste it and not worry. I want to be able to lose money. I want to be able to lose more money in a day than people will see in their lifetime. See, but I say it, okay? I want to get a new jet, not just this one, right? I want to go where I want, when I want. I might leave America, man, if they keep screwing this country up. I might leave, take all my damn money and move to some other country. I might go to Switzerland, dude. Who knows? And then I might leave Switzerland. You see, I want freedom, dude. I'm obsessed with living life on my terms, not somebody else's.
It's awesome. We have this little fire round that we do every week, Grant, and it's just 4 quick questions that don't really have anything to do with the real interview. So we want to top your head type of answer. So Eugene, you got the first one.
All right. Grant, audio or a hard copy?
Well, both, man. You got to do both, dude. Because here's the deal, man. When you read something, it's different. When I read a word, it's different than when I hear a word.
Okay.
It's true.
Favorite social media platform?
I don't have a favorite. If you even ask the question, you don't understand social media.
Are you running for office? That's not one of the questions, but are you running for office?
No.
Not yet, at least. Maybe in Switzerland when you move to Switzerland. All right. Your biggest obsession outside of your business?
Biggest obsession? Probably, biggest obsession. I don't have one, dude. It's like, I don't have one. I mean, outside of my business, church, community, making a difference, like I don't really think about outside of my business. I don't think like my life is, I think about my life. My business is in my life. So the only way for me to answer that question would be outside my life, right? So if it's outside my life, then it would be what happens when I'm dead? What are people going to say about me? Who's going to know me? Or is anybody going to even talk about me? I'm interested in that. I'm interested in living longer than my body.
So you would say your legacy then would be your probably big.
That would be right.
Okay.
And last one, best business advice you have ever received?
Best business advice I've ever received was from my mother, man. She said, invest in yourself, Grant.
Awesome.
You'll never lose.
And that's why we read your books, so we can invest in ourselves.
Exactly.
There it is. Hey, Grant, I know you got to go. How can people learn more about you, get in contact with you?
Dude, you can email me obsessed@grantcardone.com. That's my email address, obsessed@grantcardone.com. See, who has an email that says who they are? Obsessed@grantcardone.com. See, when you get obsessed about everything, man, everything starts solving its problems, okay? And the other thing is get the book. The other thing is when you get the book, man, I'm going to give you the mastermind. I'm going to give you the coaching session. So you really get to know me there those 13 weeks. It'll be like me and you were talking.
Yes, that's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Look forward to having you guys there.
Awesome.
Yes.
We look forward to it, believe me. Hey, Grant, one sentence. Why should we buy Be Obsessed or Be Average? Well, we already did, but why should everybody else buy it?
So that you're not average.
There you go.
I mean, the only reason to buy the book is because the title should resonate with you immediately. Mm-hmm. If the title doesn't resonate with you, it's probably not the book to get.
Right.
You know? Go get you one of those love novels.
There you go.
Go get a mystery novel. Or don't just go search the internet. I heard a guy last week say that Marcus Lemonis, and I like Marcus, the prophet on CNBC.
Yes.
He said that he doesn't think books are the place for people to learn things, that people should just, search the internet. And I was thinking, man, that's ridiculous. Dude, the internet is full of garbage. The internet is like a freaking garbage dump of the universe. Go look up anything. Go look up the Federal Reserve today. Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? You'll see 10 articles on going up and 10 articles going down, and you won't even know what the hell you should do.
Correct.
The internet also says I'm a French model. All right, everybody. Thank you, Grant. I know you got to run, so we'll wrap
thanks
up.
a lot. Okay, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Next week, everybody, 11 a.m. Friday, we will have Hassan Khatib. He is the founder and I guess president of Connecticut Young Professionals. So make sure you join us for that. And, we will see you then, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I know a bunch of people were on Facebook Live watching, so thanks for doing that. And we'll see you next week.
All right.
Later, Eugene.
All right, Scott. No.